Okay, let's look at the ingredients for this dish. What we're going to need is ground turkey, 5 eggs, 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of breadcrumbs, 1 onion, olive oil, aged goat cheese, cayenne pepper, black pepper, garlic powder, salt, and 4 cups of water. So I've already had the eggs boiling for 4 minutes. They need 6 minutes and an inch of water. You're gonna soft boil the eggs. I laid the turkey meat out in disc and I'm placing onion on top. And then I'm adding on cayenne pepper, followed by salt, black pepper, and then garlic powder. And they're kind of laid out as if you're making hamburgers, right? And you're gonna take a spatula and you want to ensure that you press the onions and flatten the surface, because you're gonna need to make sure this is flat as possible, because you're gonna roll this around the soft boiled egg once it comes out. Okay, so once the eggs have been boiling or steaming for 6 minutes, you place them in cold water, preparing to peel them. Now, here's the catch. You want to ensure that when you're peeling the eggs, you don't break it. You don't break the egg white and expose the egg yolk, because the egg yolk is still soft, it's still runny. So you have to be very careful when you do so. Because if you actually break the egg, then once you wrap it with the meat and then bread it, once you place it inside the olive oil to cook it, you're going to actually be cooking the egg. And that's not the idea of this. So use water and take your time when you're peeling the eggs to ensure you don't break the egg white. We want to keep that egg white as an extra layer of protection around that soft egg yolk. Okay, and then once you've peeled all the eggs, you place in the center of the disc, and this is kind of very similar to making a meatball, but you fold it around the egg kind of like you make a dumpling, because the meat is soft and you can make it into a ball. You have a clean bowl of water that you can use to help you to mold it in a egg shape. And you want to ensure that you completely cover the egg white with the meat and make sure there's no eggshell there. Okay, you're going to do that for each of the eggs. I'll speed this up here. Remember, it's kind of like you're making a dumpling. You can just fold it around as you need to and make sure you cover the egg white as much as you possibly can. Alright, so now that we have all the eggs covered with the meat, and we've been very careful not to break the egg white around the egg yolk, what you do is you take the egg, you bread it with, I have egg yolk, I have breadcrumbs, and I have flour. And give it a flour shower. And then after that first flour shower, you're going to take it back to the egg yolk and bring it back to the flour to make sure it has a good coating. Careful with it. Okay. Now, when all 4 eggs are ready, I have olive oil here over some high heat. I'm going to lower the heat once all the eggs are in. Just using a spoon to place them inside the oil. It's not deep frying them. You can notice that only right now the bottom of the egg, or the bottom of the breading is being, the meat in the breading is being cooked. like olive oil because I actually like the flavor of olive oil. I place olive oil on my poached eggs, so I cook my Scotch eggs in olive oil, but you can use vegetable oil or sunflower oil, whichever type of oil you actually like, that you're used to in terms of flavor. But with turkey meat, I like how olive oil gives it a good cook. What you're going to make sure that you do while the eggs are inside the oil is you have to tend to them. You can't just leave them because they're not deep frying, so you have to move them around yourself. And you can't just flip them because if you notice, the sides are lighter than the top and bottom half. So you're gonna have to, while you're tending to them, you're gonna have to make sure you flip them on their sides to make sure that all of the breading and all of the meat is cooked evenly. And that's gonna require you attending to it. So you can't quite just walk away for a long period of time from your Scotch eggs. Okay, now once you're comfortable with the browning and you just want to make the final touches, while that's happening, you can prepare the cheese. I'm using aged goat cheese. You can just use your typical cheese grater to grate it up, or you can slice it up however you like. So the eggs are out. Cutting board has been cleaned. Now I'm gonna prepare to plate it. I'm just gonna use Grey Poupon. I have some Dijon mustard here. I'm going to create 4 oval-shaped discs of mustard. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place the Scotch egg on top of these discs of mustard. They're like a base. They're going to hold the egg. And because the eggs have cooled down, it's not going to cook the mustard, it's just going to absorb it. You see, and it just kind of flattens it out. The weight of the egg just kind of absorbs the mustard. You just take your cheese, whichever cheese you like. I'm using aged goat cheese. I got used to different types of cheese when I was living in Kyrgyzstan. Okay, so you put your cheese on top. Again, it's cooled down, so it's not going to melt into it. You have enough flavor already there. What you want this cheese to do is help flavor the egg yolk, which is still soft. So that mustard and that cheese are going to hit the egg yolk, and that's going to be full of flavor. There you go. You see, the egg yolk is still running, and there you have it, turkey scotched egg. It's a delicious brunch. I normally can only eat 2 of these in one sitting. Can't eat all 4, but this is a really delicious brunch. It doesn't take very long to make, and once you make it, you'll be addicted. Enjoy. Okay, so hey, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and comment, and we'll see you next time.